Hey guys, Stooge here with a video about the playtest alpha of Shadow of the Road. This is a tactical RPG with turn-based combat being developed by Another Angle Games and published by Owlcat, who did the Pathfinder and Rogue Trader games. Shadow of the Road is a game that mixes Japanese culture and Japanese supernatural folklore with some elements of steampunk to create a really interesting setting that I've never seen before. From what I played in the alpha version, this theme is one of the great strengths of the game. The loading screens, the game environments, the characters, the UI, and the voice acting all contribute to conveying the feeling of being in 1800s Japan. The only hint to the steampunk theme in the alpha is the presence of firearms that enemies use, so I'm very keen to see how the devs incorporate that into what is otherwise a very traditional Japanese setting. The devs really lent into the Japanese theme, and the presentation of text and dialogue with inspiration from traditional calligraphy is really cool, and I really love that the voice acting in the alpha version was all done in Japanese. The subtitle language had English and Chinese options, so I'm guessing that localization in other languages is planned for full release, but for me, I hope that they keep the voice acting to Japanese for the whole game. The UI for Shadow of the Road is great at reinforcing the Japanese theme. Similar to how Owlcat has done the tooltips for keywords in their games, Another Angle has also adopted the hover over keywords quote unquote mechanic to provide context for lore terminology, which is really good. Hovering over keywords gives the player good context for unfamiliar lore terms and also provides historical information if the term is related to Japanese culture, which I find to be a really good touch. The Japanese theme also gets carried through to the characters really well. Each character has their own skill tree, which looks to be quite extensive, so it seems like there will be good scope for character building for players who like doing that in RPGs. There is also a relationship system and alignment system where dialogue choices can change how characters feel about each other and whether they end up being more traditional or more rebellious. In Shadow of the Road, this translates to whether you want to stick to samurai tradition or go down a more Ronin path. So I'm very interested to see what impacts these choices will have as you get further into the game. Combat does what you would expect from a top-down tactical type of RPG, with turn order manipulation being a focus of how combat plays out. Characters have skills that can speed up an ally's incoming turn or slow down an enemy's incoming turn, so there should be interesting tactical decisions to make in combat. The risk here is that stacking turn order could trivialize fights, so I'm curious to see how the devs are going to balance this issue as well as combat in general. Based on the announcement trailer that was released last year, I thought the game looked fine, but it didn't really catch my attention beyond being a game that Owlcat was publishing. Now that I've played the alpha, I'm incredibly excited to get my hands on more of the game. I love the theme, the presentation, the characters, and the little bit of story that is in the alpha looks quite compelling as well. Overall, Shadow of the Road looks very promising and genuinely took me by surprise. For an alpha version, it plays very well, and I'm definitely keeping an eye on further developments with the game. If you enjoyed my thoughts on the Shadow of the Road alpha, feel free to hit the subscribe button and like the video. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope you have a good one.